Scums, welcome back to another. I told Noah right before we rolled. I was like, I'm tired of saying Scums, welcome back. But then I was blank on what to say. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Scums, welcome back. We are coming off a thrilling win over our big rivals, the Carolina Tar Heels. Duke is coming off a 32 to 25 win, to become bowl eligible. Finally, it happened. I was having my doubts for a while.
We're
I
there.
there was a real chance. I was like, damn, after that UVA loss, I was like, damn, there's a real chance we don't make a bowl game this year. Luckily, got a bowl game secured. So worst case scenario this season, we are going to a bowl game. Even if it is in Idaho, we are going to a bowl game. But yeah, I mean, you think about these rivalry games with Carolina, Noah, and you think about just like weird stuff, creative stuff, fluky stuff, sad stuff, fun stuff. This one had a little bit of everything. Um, let's hear from you about the Carolina game. We were all there, by the way. All three scums and our crew were at Keenan on Saturday, and it was a day to remember.
Oh yeah, yeah. First off, just want to give a shout out to Hunter Oakley and his crowd for hosting a tailgate off of good old Rosemary Street and inviting us over. A lot of good beer, good times, good fellowship, uh, good tree, if you know what I mean. So we appreciate that. And a lot of people hate on Carolina fans a lot, and there are plenty of douchebags, but there's a few good ones out there. So gonna give them their flowers for sure, like they would us. The game, yeah. I mean, albeit the position Duke has been in this year and the things that need to change, and we'll talk about that some more throughout the pod. It's always great to get a win, regardless of how it happens. Of course, Duke got up 17-7, and then all of a sudden was down 25-24. The lights went off, the fireworks started shooting. Garrett's hands were in his head. Me and Eli and Tyler just kind of looking at each other, and
We've seen this movie before.
John and a couple other guys in the group, everybody had seen that movie a time or two. But we made the plays we needed to at the end of the game, albeit some of the coaching decisions put us in place to need those plays. And we're going to get into that with some That's So Duke and things like that. So I don't want to harp on it too much. But my main point this week, my main soundbite for everybody,
Here we
because
go.
there is some negativity still to be had. I've seen a lot of just happy to be going to a bowl game on Facebook. Why is everybody mad? We can't do no worse than 6-6.
We just beat Carolina. Why are you
We
mad?
just we just beat UNC, this and that, and absolutely, I can celebrate and enjoy that win with the best of them, and I sure as hell did. I can also see this kind of season for what it is and what it has been, and that is our coordinators doing things to put us in positions where we can't win football games, whether that's prep throughout the week at practice or execution in the play calling on Saturdays. It's vice versa. I'm not going to say we have a bad week of practice every week, but there are game days where it looks like it. Duke came out pretty strong against UNC, but yet again, we got complacent in our play calling with soft zone coverages. We had Vincent Anthony playing cornerback again.
Again.
I swear to God. And I know VJ's family listens to this, and we appreciate y'all. And we just want y'all to know we hear you. We know. Why? And the funniest part of it all is that happened in the first quarter, I think. And right before we had all moved to sit together, and Sydney just grabs me on the arm because I'm sitting there about to lose it in between all the Carolina fans, and she goes, "He's real big to be out there playing on the receiver." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
That is it.
I was like, "I have had enough." And mind you, my girlfriend went to University of Rhode Island. They don't even know what football is up there. And yet again, she's still like, "Why is he out there?" So
That's a great question, sweetie.
yeah, it's we don't have the answers for it. So yes, I'm happy for the win. Yes, I'm happy to have the bell back. I am still not happy with the result of the season. I know there's still football left to be played, but we've left a lot on the table, and a lot of things need to be addressed in the off season, shoring up a couple of positions in the portal, and making some moves on the staff to ensure that the talent on the field doesn't end up in the Wasabi Bowl 2 years in a row. And we ain't hating on the Wasabi Bowl either, because we're gonna be up in that bitch. If
Yeah.
y'all if y'all don't know the Scums, we're gonna be up in it. Don't
Scums
worry.
do Boston.
Yeah,
Scums
we're
bring their
there.
muskets.
We are there. We are dumping Lipton tea bags into the harbor.
Dude, and you're absolutely right. It's one of those things where it's like I don't what we do here is we're honest and we're positive when it's warranted. Remember after the Syracuse and Cal games, we were elated. We were so positive. And we are realistic when we have to be. That's what we do. We keep it real here. So as fun as it was to beat Carolina, as great as it is to finally be bowl eligible, because I feel like making a crappy bowl is one thing, but not making a bowl at all is a
It's,
whole different
yeah,
thing. And I'd much rather make a crappy bowl than no bowl at all. Um, so yeah, I'm happy that we won a bowl game. Glad we beat Carolina. Also, not so fun fact. This is the first time Duke has beat Carolina in back-to-back years and held the bell for more than 1 year at a time since 2018. Many of you who listen will remember back in the day when we had Daniel Jones starting 2016,
Mister
17, 18.
Mister 3-0.
That boy never lost to Carolina. We won 3 years in a row
We couldn't
against
beat
Carolina.
UVA or Pitt, but damn, we weren't losing to UNC. That's for sure.
Yeah. Hey, here's a little factoid for you. The last time Duke beat Carolina 3 years in a row before Daniel Jones was under Spurrier, 87, 8, and 9. That
Hell
that
yeah.
guy owned Carolina too. Daniel Jones and Steve Spurrier's UNC's dads. But
Two
yeah, hey,
Mount
maybe
Rushmore guys for
yeah.
us, you know.
Amen. Maybe we can make it 3-0 next year. Anyway,
Absolutely.
uh back to the game. So we're gonna touch on the positives because there were positives, but we also have to talk shop. That's what we do here. So getting into the game, UNC goes up 7-0 on the first drive, and we're just like, oh my God, here we go. Um, Duke ends up responding, going up 24-10 in the third before UNC takes the lead. Um, we're just gonna get this out of the way. That Todd Polino fake field goal.
Let your nuts hang.
Oh my God. As much shit as we've talked about Gabe and Fonte this season, or whoever's call that was, I don't know whose it was. I would assume it's Fonte's.
Yeah.
That was the epitome of letting your nuts hang, dude. I mean, wow. Who could, because and watching it in the moment, you see like Cade like grab onto it and Polino take off. I was like, oh fuck, like they bungled this again. Who was it? Illinois or Georgia Tech where
Georgia
something similar
Tech,
happened?
yeah.
Georgia Tech. And I was
Oof.
like, oh my God, they're doing this again. Who knew Todd Polino had wheels like that?
Oh yeah. The
That
pride of
was unreal.
Cornelius, baby. Woo.
Man, and again, like the Polina family has become like one of some of our good friends.
Terry's the
I,
goat, man.
yeah, dude, I texted Terry after that. And I said, "Holy fucking shit!" Um, that was insane. I was so happy for Todd. After because he missed that field goal earlier in the game. I'm sorry, Polino family. Like I said, we have to talk ball on here. Polino did miss that field goal earlier in the game, but that fake was just unreal. I really wish he could have gotten it to the end zone, but hey, beggars can't be choosers
Hey,
here. I'll
shout out
take it.
Infante too. You touched on it a
Yeah,
little bit right there. We've had one group consistently get better each week, it seems, and special teams has been that group. They've limited penalties, limited the turnovers, shored
yeah,
up a lot of things. We've made a couple of bad choices on some kick returns when we should have just taken touchbacks, but I won't fault, somebody trying a little too hard. I feel like Infante's really shored that group up. We were kind of talking about it, in the group chats and even on our page that we're not including Infante right now in our kind of coordinator roundup that we want at the end of the year.
yeah,
His recruiting and what he does with the defensive line cannot go unnoticed. I understand that maybe our special teams unit truly was so young at the beginning of the year that no coach could get him ready, but I am very pleased with what I've seen over the course of the year and towards the end of the season.
yeah,
And please don't make me come back to this clip next Sunday and be an idiot. Please don't.
yeah. Please don't make me eat my words. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, that was just unreal. Beautiful play. I mean, it's all over social media. It's trending. Our friend BSBL made us an edit of that play with the Water Boy
Oh, it's so sick.
movie. It's people are eating that up. So Yeah, that was unreal. I was so happy for Todd, so happy for the Polino family. If anybody deserves it, it's them. That So Duke moment is brought to us by Tyler, who you guys probably noticed is not here tonight. We've said it a few times. He is a basketball coach, and so at this time of year, his schedule's just crazy. It's really hard to find a time
They have
when he can be
five
here.
games in the next 4 days because,
Yeah,
as everybody that listens to this knows, most people, that are scummy probably grew up around the high school basketball scene, and those Thanksgiving jamborees, they're fucking sweat fest. And
yeah,
so shout out Tyler. He's still the one, he's putting in work on these docs, and Tyler's still our main scum man. So go
yeah,
cheer on Northwest Guilford if you're in the area too.
yeah. But yeah, no, we appreciate him still helping us put these together. But this That's So Duke segment, I feel like we haven't had a That's So Duke in a while. I feel like the UVA game was all That's So Duke moments.
Hmm.
But this That's So Duke moment is brought to us by Tyler. He talks about on the previous drive before Polino's fake field goal. Um, it was 4th and 1. Duke is down 1 point. No, sorry, it's 4th and 2. And Castle's in the backfield. He's been dominating all day. We're like, all right, cool. Like, we're gonna hand it off to Anderson Castle and get this first down. Not so fast. We run a Philly special, and the only route was to Mensa, who was clamped. He was locked up. I mean, I had my phone. I have video. I was filming this play. I was like, here we go. We're gonna convert this. We're gonna like put this game on ice, whatever. And
The
they flip it
background
to Quishon
audio.
Brown. I just could not believe it. I could not believe what I was watching.
Yeah, if I entice anybody that wants to like that knows us and thinks we're pretty funny, go turn up the volume on Eli's page on that video and listen to like the seven of us in the background just screaming. Like you can't tell us this shit don't mean something to us, man, because that moment almost killed every single one of us sitting up there.
I
I
was
mean,
like, here we
we
go.
that concourse jump was looking real enticing whenever I saw Daria Mensah triple teamed and he was the only guy trying to run a route.
It
It's just
was,
infuriating.
and that's another one of those classic examples of like what I talked about last week. It's like we don't have to overthink and overcomplicate everything. I feel like that's a kind of a common theme with this coaching staff is like on 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s, they like to overcomplicate things that don't have to be overcomplicated. And I get it. You want to like the element of surprise, you want to get creative, you want to get exotic, but that doesn't have to be the case every single time. And don't get me wrong, they made up for it with, that fun little fake field goal later in the game. But just because it works doesn't mean it's smart. These fun little fakes and exotic plays on like short yardage situations have worked a few times this season, but that doesn't mean they should be the standard and that we should do those every single time.
Yeah.
Um, Getting into some numbers, Duke allowed 1 sack and 5 tackles for loss on offense. Mensa was under pressure most of the game, rolling out to his right almost every play, like all night long. And I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on because I feel like as good as our O line has been, and I apologize, Mr. Parker, I know you listened to this, but we got to tell it like it is. As good as our O line has been all season, I feel like I don't know if they've gotten softer or we've played better lines, like defensive lines the last couple of weeks. I don't
Yeah.
know quite what's going on.
I would chalk a lot of it up to talent played. I mean, UNC has a top five D line in the
Yeah.
conference. And the number is a tad skewed because you're like 1 sack, not bad. And truly, like that is good regardless of, what else was happening. But there was a lot of times, and I feel like some of it's on Mensa and not the O line. And we noticed Larson kind of struggling. I don't know if that's injury or just maybe they had the right scheme for him over there. But Bradley Smith came in, did a pretty serviceable job, and he's rotated in quite a lot this year with Larson. And it was good to see because he is a younger cat, and we're going to need that in the coming years. But Mensa doesn't ever like step up into the pocket on those three-step drops, it feels like. It feels like it's the three-step drop, first read, and then if the first read's not there, his legs start moving to the right while he's looking at the second read. And then if the second's not there, full blown sprint looking for everything else. As compared to earlier in the year, it felt like Mensa would step up, shuffle the feet in the pocket a little bit, move back, move right, move left, step up and throw over Craycraft's head, over Pickett's head, whatever, and not necessarily force the rollout. Because once he's rolled out, the O line is taught let him go essentially, because you're just going to get 5 holding penalties, and there's only so much they can do. And I think the hurries, kind of attribute to both sides, but I would like to see Mensa step up and just kind of own the pocket a little more. I would rather have 3 sacks and maybe only 2 hurries than 1 and 5 hurries on 5 or 6 rollouts and a bunch of incompletions. So yeah, I guess my 2 cents on that for sure.
Yeah. And I will say, I think one thing I do appreciate a lot about Darian Mensah is like when he is under pressure, I think he's a young cat. I mean, we've seen him grow tremendously this year. I think that one thing we've seen a lot this year is that he's had some growth, meaning that he was never really bad about it, about like forcing like when there weren't any options open. But I think earlier in the season, especially, we saw a lot of taking sacks, running out of bounds 2 yards behind the line,
Mhm.
just like kind of
You
young
don't
guy
have to
stuff.
you don't have to make it happen every single play.
No,
It's football. There's going to be plays where you just it's not there.
you just eat it.
You're not going to win 100% of the plays of the game.
No, straight up. Also, on the note of Darian Mensah, he is currently, if I'm reading these stats correctly, he, as it stands, is tied with Malik Murphy for the single season passing touchdown record that Malik broke last year. Malik Murphy set the Duke football single season passing touchdown record with 26 touchdown passes last year. That is where Darian is sitting currently, and I don't want to jinx anything, but if nothing else this weekend, I fully believe that Darian
Gets
could
one.
break the record. Just gets one, please.
Yeah.
Then again, remember we thought Cooper Barkate was going to break the 1,000 yard mark a few weeks ago, and it's not looking like that's going to
Why
happen
did
this
we
year.
say anything, man?
Should have just kept
Like,
should have just kept our mouths shut here too, because
that
we
one's on
jinxed it.
us, Coop. That one's on us. Brewer heard it and he was like, "Gotta quit getting them the ball."
Get off the field. Um, so yeah, that's something to keep an eye out on this weekend. If you're watching the Duke Wake Forest game, watch Darian Mensah because he very well likely is going to set a Duke football single season passing touchdown record. Um, now Carolina did do a good job forcing Duke to drive down the field every time and not give them explosive plays. And thinking back to it, yeah, I mean, I don't outside of like the fake field goal to Polino, we didn't have any 70-yard bombs, 50-yard broken runs. There was that one play with Nate Shepard where, my God, he broke like 12
It
tackles
was
and
nasty.
turned what should have been an 8-yard run into like a 25-yard run or something. That was God tier stuff. But Duke really did not have any, explosive plays all day long, and I will give credit where it's due. Carolina did a good job, holding them from doing that. And that's the thing. As good as Duke's offense has been at times this year, and as shitty as Carolina has been overall, one thing about Carolina is they have had a good defense this year,
Yeah, I
and
mean, I
we
think they're
kind of saw it this weekend.
like 27th or 37th in the country overall. I
Something
mean,
like
it's a
that.
solid group. They're close to where Duke was last year. Duke was probably a little better, but still,
Yeah.
I mean, a solid group. And Bill Belichick's son, Steve, that runs the defense, he was a solid coordinator at UW, and I think schematically they come out solid. So I mean, to for us to score over 30 is still a win, but like you're saying, they definitely came out with the game plan to not allow us to take the top off, which, has kind of been our MO all year.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to say this earlier when you were talking about seeing Hunter Oakley at the tailgates. I wasn't ducking Oakley or anything. I had other plans, but I did want to say earlier in the game, I went and used the bathroom and I'm standing in line and I hear this voice behind me go, like I was like looking around like behind me and I hear somebody go, "Are you GA scumbags?" And I was like, "Fuck." Because anytime that happens, it's usually not a good thing. Like usually it's a disgruntled Duke fan who wants to voice their opinion that I didn't ask for or wants to start talking some shit or whatever. But it was a Carolina fan and I kind of ignored him at first. I just kind of like looked away, went to the urinal, was like playing on my phone, just acting like I wasn't paying attention, and then like washing my hands. He comes up to the sink next to me and he's like, "Yo, you're in the GA Scumbags, right?" And I was like, "Yes." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Troy. I think it was Troy from the Tar Pit podcast. They're a Carolina. I don't know if they do just football or basketball too or what. But they're a Carolina podcast. He's like, yeah, like we're mutuals on TikTok. Like I follow you guys. You guys do a good job. Like respect, whatever. Like we got to collab at some point next year. So shout out Troy. I think it was from the Tar
Very
Pit
cool.
pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I told him straight up, I was like, dude, sorry I ignored you. I just assumed that whenever people ask me if I'm on the GA scumbags in the bathroom, it's not in a good way. Also, real quick on that same note, I wasn't there for this, but I guess Garrett and Tyler were walking to the seats. Did you hear this story?
Oh, I know it. Yeah. And the
And this
lady.
lady's like, "Do you guys have
Yeah.
a podcast?" And Garrett's like, he does. And he was like, "What podcast?" And she was like, "Do you guys have a podcast?" And then Tyler's like, "Yeah." And what did she say? I forgot
During
what she
the
said.
no, during the she didn't say anything after that, but during the game when we all started screaming like "fuck Brewer, fuck Packy," she was like, "That sounds just like them."
It's like, don't listen.
It's like,
It's
of
like if you
course,
don't
but no,
like,
she was chill. No, she was like, she wasn't saying it in any negative connotation of it.
my
Like,
bad, my
she
bad.
genuinely like wanted to know. And I
Oh,
think Tyler thought she might have been ducking, but there was like four of them down there, and throughout the game, they were turning around, laughing, smiling at us. They thought we were hilarious.
okay,
But
I take it back.
that's what she said. She was like, "Sounds just like them." I was like, "Yeah, that's us.
That's
That's our
us.
MO
It's
right there."
we make the viewing experience miserable for Duke fans and opposing fans alike. Um,
Let's throw in these numbers here.
yeah. So Carolina was 8 for 13. Oh, real quick before we get to numbers, penalties. Duke, I will say, we're talking about growth in special teams. We'll talk growth all around. Only 3 penalties. Whether that was Jim Phillips and his bag for the
It was in his
referees
bag.
for us for once or not, Duke kept it clean for like the first time this season. They only had 3 penalties, which was nice. Carolina had 12. They had a huge lack of discipline that kept Duke in the game, honestly. And Manny and Brewer also finally took advantage of the sub rules and caught Carolina twice with too many men on the field. Hey, play the game. Like Brett Bielema, you play the game. Um, and it is funny on social media seeing so many Carolina fans like whining and complaining about the refs helping Duke. It's like, I'm sorry, did you guys not watch the games in 22 and 23? Sit this one out. Let's you guys sit this one out. Anyway, like Noah said, let's talk numbers. Noah, you want to talk about numbers?
Oh yeah, we can run through them real quick. UNC 8 of 13 on third down. They went 4 of 4 on the first drive. That was just debilitating at a time. Duke went 6 of 15 on third down, 5 of 6 on fourth down. Our fourth down percentage is ridiculous.
Just keep Kane off the field, man.
I wish we didn't need it, but there we are. Mensa, kind of a quiet game, but still a good game. 20 of 33, 175, one touchdown. Little Riley Leonard special with an extra 50 yards on top of it.
Yeah, and like
Uh,
two less interceptions and
yeah,
like some less rushing yards.
yeah, one less rushing touchdown. Shep, 22 carries, 90 yards. That's what I want to fucking see. 20 plus carries a game.
Amen.
Workhorses in this league get 20 plus a game, and they always seem to win when they do that. Keep
Yep.
it up. Nobody can fucking stop Nate Shepard.
You
He's
know
the,
the meme with the monkey with it going.
yeah.
It's like
Mm.
Brewer finally realized, hey, wait, what if we feed our best player on offense?
And then also give Castle more than 10 touches. Like you can run the ball 30 times a game. Like it's fine. Some teams run it 60 times a game. You ever fucking watched Iowa play football? You know, I mean, come on. It's fine. It wins a lot more football games than Duke has over the years.
Here's a
So,
fun Castle number. 3 touchdowns.
yeah, in his
Three
bag, dude.
touchdowns, dude.
Who's
Holy
got that?
hell.
Who's got that bet slip? Who's got the Castle anytime touchdown X3 bet?
I think
That's
Matt Blivin does actually.
some serious coin. Matt Moneyman Blivens, Hashtag our future sponsor. We're getting ready to toss him an NIL deal next week. Hate that for Josh and the boys, but
We're
we're
poaching their sponsors.
tossing a lucrative bag to Matt Blivens. Mensa had 3 rushes for 27 yards, not bad. Of course, Todd 1 rush, 26 yards. Just goat.
I don't want to
Hasley,
sound like a boomer Duke fan, but Todd Polino has more rushing yards at Duke than Malik Murphy
yeah,
does.
for sure. Our boy Jerry, 7 receptions, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Mr. November, new nickname for Jerry. 17 for 276, two touchdowns in 4 games so far. I expect another 50, 60 plus against Wake. They've got some holes in the linebacker area that Jerry should just eat right through. Couldn't happen to a better dude after that injury last year, and just overall being one of the coolest guys, and just coming from a
Great
real cool
family.
family that supports the pod, and we really appreciate all the kind things they have to say and just sharing all of our stuff means a lot. But yeah, Mr. November's been eating. Our receivers for the second game in a row. Yikes.
Quiet.
Samir, 30 yards. Barkate, 26 yards. Queso, 16 yards. I mean, it worked, but man, against Wake, I'd like to at least get one of them above 100. We need the
Yeah.
Barkate specials for sure.
Or at least like more than 5 receptions. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't understand. It's not like I attribute this to Darian being under pressure all night because it's not like Carolina has like the most elite secondary. It's just
their front seven's way better than their back five.
yeah, I just attribute this to like Carolina getting pressure on Darian all night. I mean, none of our receivers except like Jerry had more than 5 receptions, which is wild. Um, but getting into the defensive side of things, Luke Mergott, 7 tackles. Mergott, Josiah Green, and Aaron all had 1 sack. Stone, Francois, Kendall Johnson, and Chandler Rivers all had 6 tackles. Samir had a kick return for 40 yards. We thought he was going to break that for a second. I've said it all year. Good things happen when you give Samir Hagans a ball, whether that's on offense, especially on special teams. I mean,
Yeah, he's made it happen on special teams.
it's like Tyler said. He was like, we saw Samir return like 2 kicks for touchdowns in 2022. And we were like, we're good. We don't need that. Um,
Reincarnated 2025.
yeah, it's good to see him like making some plays. Todd was 1 for 1. I thought he missed a field goal.
No, he made one, and the one he missed is the one the guy took his leg out from under him, about tore his fucking ACL. So those
Oh,
don't count.
gotcha. Okay,
And
my
he
bad.
honestly, like, the guy hit him, like, in the midst of the kick, and the kick still had distance, and it was just off. So I'm assuming normal, no guy hitting him. He probably was middle on that. Looked good, but I mean, he didn't even need to sell that one. There was so much contact.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to take Tyler's synopsis of the game or do you want me to take it?
Yeah, I can give everybody a little read here. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Lester's overall take to finish out our UNC recap. A good win, but not a great performance. It still took the fake field goal and going 5 of 6 on fourth down to win this football game. Penalties were the only thing keeping us around. That said, when it mattered most, we stepped up defensively and the offense didn't force things and turn the ball over. The book on Mensa might be out back to back, but we back to back weeks and throws while being under pressure. Bowl eligible, Bell is home, won't complain too much, but far from a we're back statement game. Everything you've heard me and Eli say, that's Tyler's own words, and he reiterated all of it to a T.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like I'm like never happy with anything, but like it's great to beat Carolina. It's great to beat our biggest rival. Now we're only what 18 games behind in the all-time series.
Closing the gap.
Yeah, gap hashtag closing. But it's always great to win the conference game. Always great to beat Carolina. Great to be bowl eligible, but like still, we should have been bowl eligible like 4 weeks ago.
Should have beat Tulane, should have beat UConn. I'm fine with losses to Illinois, Georgia Tech, and Virginia. I'd be fine if this team was 9-3. You'd hear me with a different tune. But you can't be this good talent wise and lose to fucking Tulane and UConn, man, and not catch flack from me. That's
Yeah,
just how
and
it'll
and,
go.
and that's the
We're
thing is
ha-
like
and sorry, well, I'll finish off on that
yeah,
part.
go ahead.
Just we're happy to, be going to a bowl game, but we're not content with the bowl game. We were back when Duke went to the Detroit Bowl, when we went to Shreveport, things like that. That was like early on enough in this building process that those felt like must haves.
There's a novelty at that
That's
point.
the floor for where we should be at in the 2020s and going forward. So yeah, it sucks. We had a floor season, I think. You
Yeah.
know, like we hit the floor, and yeah, we made the bowl game, and yeah, we'll get the postseason, and that's great. And nobody loves fucking meaningless bowl games quite like us. I can tell you that much right now. Nobody goes to bat for people in Idaho and Birmingham and
Hey,
Detroit and Shreveport quite like we do.
I mean, that's how me and Noah got to know each other. We hadn't
Literally,
even met in person yet. And I took a train to Charlotte to meet Noah, and then we drove to Birmingham, four complete strangers in this Jeep. And we drove to Birmingham 2 years ago.
now we're fucking on this podcast, still shooting the shit, probably for the next 20, 30 years. Fucking Tyler, building the, got the brand, got the boys, we got our tailgate. Like, sweet victory, man.
How far we've come, but also not how far we've come because we're still going to a Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah, we're going to Birmingham North this year.
All that being said, though, the way I see bowl games is I want to get the best bowl game possible, but if we can't get a great bowl game, give me a bowl game that's a destination or easy to travel to. I'd be perfectly fine with the Pinstripe Bowl. I mean, going to New York City around Christmas time, I'm in on that. Boston, I'm in on that.
Hmm.
Tampa, I'm in on that.
And on that,
I'm fine with any of those. Um,
yeah,
anyhow,
hit the, we got the mailbag.
yeah. All right, crew. You guys showed out for the mailbag this week. Well, I want to thank everybody who participates in the mailbag. Um, if you haven't already, drop a like, comment, subscribe, etc. It helps us grow the brand. Um, First question slash comment is from our friend the Duke of QP. He says they don't say, or he says they say don't stick your devil's deck in crazy, but I don't know how to quit this team. Does this end in a psychotic breakup, or do we just put a ring on it?
You got to put a ring on it if if you stuck around this long, which we know QP is one of those guys that lived through Franks and Roof and all them boys. Yeah, put the ring on it. It might
Yep.
be the ugly second wife, but it's still a wife, you know.
Our friend Lane Phipps says, yes, it's just another multiple tweet rant from me this week. I'm just so tired of seeing the garbage from the OC and the DC. You see, we're not the only ones who complain about the coordinators. I know it's easy to be a couch coach, but these guys are getting paid millions to make stupid decisions in the midst of the most crucial parts of the games. We need more accountability. Lane, I could not have said it better myself, my brother.
Dude, also shout out to Lane, the John Cena Rock meme, but it's Lane Phipps versus Wes Durham on X that one November.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's just been a legendary like 3 weeks of Wes just getting body slammed by Lane Phipps. You know what I
And
mean?
Wes indulges. He
Oh
replies. He
yeah,
partakes.
absolutely.
I
He
gotta
eats it
show
up.
respect.
For sure. Hell, he was like, I told him we would do an investigation at media days, and Wes tweeted back. He's like, "Why wait a year? You'll see me next week." So hopefully we run into Wes at the weight game. Just it'd be cool to meet him and get to talk to him and stuff. So funny, and he's
Oh,
very
absolutely.
lighthearted and playful. So that's been a joy to participate and watch.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Wes Durham. I don't care who knows it. But he has two more comments. His second comment is Infante is no longer on the fire list in my books. Yeah, we kind of touched on that. I agree. I can agree.
Yep,
Even outside of the fake kick, the special teams unit has been the only unit to show improvement throughout the season. That's facts.
Lane, you're
He
spitting.
says, what the hell was the play calling on both offense and defense? This game should not have been close. Once again, sending the best pass rusher into coverage on crucial third downs. I'm so sick of seeing the marshmallow zone schemes. Brewer had a stupid trick play for no apparent reason on 4th and 1. And also the stubbornness to stop doing what works and change it up randomly and persistently do what doesn't. Same shit we've been echoing all year, man. I don't know why we do the trick plays on 4th and 1s. I don't know why we go away from what's working. I don't know why we're so insistent on using the soft zone stuff on defense. I don't get it. I'm with you. Noah, you agree?
Oh yeah, yeah. Lane and me, we be our opinions come off real similar. It seems so.
Yeah,
Lane,
we got to get him on one week.
beers on me next time you see me, Lane.
Yeah. Our friend JF, hashtag DDMF. Is there another coordinator calling a 4th and 1 wide receiver pass trick play? Also, the whole fan base was furious at Brewer, but then we win and he gets off the hook again. Thank you. Thank you. I was scrolling 247 Sports this morning and I couldn't, well, I could, unfortunately, I could believe what I was reading. It's We barely scraped past a crappy Carolina team. And if anybody dares have any criticisms or questions or, hey, maybe we should be better. I don't know. Everybody in the comments is like, dude, why are you complaining? We just beat Carolina, man. What are you whining about? We just beat our rival, dude. We just became bowl eligible. It's like, that's great. That's so great. If this was 2011, hell yeah, you wouldn't hear a word out of me. We're too far into this. We're too far into the investment. We've hired too many offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators over the years to still be dealing with this crap. We have expectations now. We have a great roster now. We have aspirations now. Just because we're finally at 6 wins in week what, 11, doesn't mean that like you're free of any like here's the thing. Just because you beat Carolina doesn't mean you're a great coaching staff. Need I remind you that Ted Roof had more wins over Carolina than Mike Elko did? Are you going to sit here and tell me that Ted Roof deserved to be at Duke more than Mike Elko did because Ted Roof had more wins over Carolina than Mike Elko did? Fuck no. I'm sick of this. Like, oh, we beat Carolina. It's all good. We beat Carolina. I'm okay with mediocrity. Oh, we beat Carolina. Stop complaining. No, there's too many people on this fan base who I'm convinced would rather go 1-11 with a win over Carolina than 10-2 with a loss over Carolina. And don't get me wrong, beating Carolina is great. It's a staple. You've got to beat Carolina. But like I'm too convinced that there are too many Duke fans who are okay with beating Carolina as long if it means like mediocrity and underutilizing a very talented roster. I'm sick and tired of it. It's time for everybody to start having some expectations. Having expectations doesn't mean you're a bad fan. We have expectations because we care. We're not impartial here. We're all in. We want to see greatness out of this team. Noah, give me your thoughts.
Complacency is death, and Duke fans love to be complacent. And the reason
Amen.
we haven't already put ourselves over the top and pushed ourselves over the hump is due to things like that. And that runs from the staff and administration all the way to the Iron Dukes, to the players, and to the fans. You know, it's got to go across the board. Everybody's got to want and expect more, and a lot of people don't. But we're trying to change that as best as we can on the fan side of things, and we think Nina is trying to change things like that on the administration side of things. And there's definitely a lot of players in that locker room that are the kind of guys that are trying to change that in the locker room. So lot to look forward to, but got to see it come to fruition.
I feel like I got your rant abilities this week. I'm not usually great at ranting as well as you are, but I got the ability for a few seconds there. It felt good.
It's rubbing off.
Yeah. Our friend Timothy Gonzalez says, Scums, awesome win by our boys over that ugly baby blue. I'm so proud of the staff for doing that fake punt, field goal. And big up to our defense for sacking back to back on Geo late in the fourth quarter. Looking forward to Saturday's game against Wake. P.S. Tell BSBO that his mattress is at the punch. Oh my God.
BSBL, your mattress is at the pawn shop, bro.
I don't even know how to begin explaining this to our listeners.
There's too many people for us to explain anything, but most of them, I feel like, if you know Tim Gonzalez, you know that's a damn good Blue Devil right there. And you don't question, you just like, retweet, comment, and move the fuck on. And if you don't, scums are going to beat your ass. I can promise you that much. Don't you ever
Yep.
mess with Tim.
There's too many layers and layers of inside jokes to even begin to explain that, so we won't. But yeah, our friend John, who's a Duke alum, actually, he was there for the shit in the early 2000s. He watched a VMI band member jump the Blue Devil mascot and knock his head off on the track one time. He says, one, great sitting with y'all. Two, I'm still mad at our coordinators. Three, that other school has zero identity outside of hating Duke, so wins over them are always satisfying, especially when they come in the fashion that hilarious. That's a fact. I have a friend who went to Duke for his undergrad and went to Carolina Law for his law school degree. And he was like, after going to both schools, I've realized that the only thing Carolina gives a shit about is beating Duke. Sounds a lot like a lot of Duke fans. They'd be okay going 1-11 with a win over Carolina. All that matters to Carolina fans is beating Duke. I mean, I see a lot more. beat Duke shirts at Carolina than I see
So many of
beat Carolina fans at Duke.
those Duck Fook shirts. Like, just say fuck Duke. Quit being a pussy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's let your nuts hang. If you want to do something, like say it. You know.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Like when we were walking through the quad area and stuff, like people think Duke's a bunch of uppity rich pieces of shit,
UNC in Carolina.
higher than art thou fuckers, you know. You ain't walked through the quad in the fall and seen every Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, fucking Ralph Lauren. And like I ain't no hater, you know, I like to dress nice during the week when I go to work, not at a college football game. Like, dude, put some jeans on or some shorts, a t-shirt or a jersey, drink a beer, and go have a fun day. Like these
Yeah.
guys are out here fucking drinking white wine out of actual glassware. Like, who brings glassware to a tailgate? I mean, some Duke fans, not yeah, but they do it in a way higher capacity than we do.
Take
Uh,
off the watch, take off the vest, take off the boots.
Nobody
Like,
wears a shitty ass fucking vest like a UNC man.
no, that's the wildest thing because I was at the Carolina UVA game last month with our friend Crazy Talker, and I was looking around and I was like, damn, like I know that like Duke is a more competitive school to get into, and like there's a lot of money at Duke, but like the stereotype about Carolina fans being preppy is beyond. I haven't seen nearly as much prep at Duke as I have at Carolina for
No.
whatever reason. It's bad. But anyway, his fourth point was how can we best attack Wake's strong op defense? We'll get to that shortly.
Also,
Our,
just touch on his first point real quick. Just we put out a tweet saying if anybody didn't have pregame plans to, you know, come to Tobacco Road at 11 o'clock and just hang out and catch some beers, then we'd all go to the tailgate with some of the Carolina people. And me and Sydney were standing outside. Tobacco Road was getting ready to open. I was having a smoke, enjoying the lights, and all of a sudden I hear Noah, and I turn around, didn't know who it was, and but that was John. And so just shout out for we enjoy when people show up and come to these things. We love talking shop and meeting more people and getting to sit with more people in our section. Like we, it's way more fun going to these games when you got 15, 20 good buddies sitting with you, acting a fool and stuff like that. So shout out John for coming to that.
Shout out Frank too for
Yeah,
sitting with
Frank as
us.
well. Yep, for coming. And he also met us at Tobacco Road. He was with us all day.
Hell yes. Came down from Chicago, right?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Duke Law alum. He was there for the Spurrier years. I couldn't imagine how elite that was. But our friend Jacob Ross says, is there still a concern in moving one or both coordinators as offseason? Yes.
Yeah.
Very next question. Jason Rogers says, first off, great win for the players. I still think there's a reason for coordinator changes. Agreed. I don't understand why we run so many screenplays. If we win against Wake, do you think in-state recruiting will get better? Not entirely sure.
We're not really battling for anybody at that point right now, and we've beat UNC and State the last 2 years, and I think that's pushed us over. But I don't think a loss to Wake flips any commits or anything, or vice
Yeah.
versa. I don't think a win's going to flip anything either.
Yeah.
But beating all these teams consistently the last few years has helped us tremendously win over some in-state guys.
Yeah. Our friend Jousey says, I just saw that Duke is 3.5 point favorites against Wake. Might be the easiest fade of all time. Noah, you're a betting man. What are your thoughts?
I am. I've been on a hot streak too. We were talking about this Tobacco Road. College football betting, I've been on one. And I've faded Duke quite a bit. I feel like that line, like, oh my God, like I can't believe that I do think Duke could win by more than 3 points. But see, the funniest thing is, like, Duke would just win by three and not cover the 3.5. So I'm close, Jowsy. Let me get to Friday night when the despair hits me. Like the optimism usually hits everybody on Friday, and like the depression and despair hits me. And I'll probably hit Wake money line. So yeah,
Our friend Bentley Weeks says, thank God. That's all I have to say. Todd is him.
Bentley, sit down, dude.
Yeah, in a sense. Our friend Blue Devil Quaker says, or he asked, does this mean we can't fire Infante? Kind of touched on this. I think he's the last of the three coordinators. He's probably number three, of which I would like to see gone. So I'll say that. Our friend Sam at Bleeding Duke Blue. I'm thrilled we won, and I hope we win versus Wake. But I'm also hoping that if we do, it doesn't gloss over the real problems this year. Thank you,
Sam, you're
and
spitting.
allow the coordinators to stay around another season. A fun couple plays sprinkled in does not erase a season's worth of blatant stupidity. Thank you. I don't know how old this guy is, but he is spitting right now, and he knows. He knows. Just because we had a few fun little plays mixed in doesn't mean we don't have issues. It doesn't.
Yeah, we've touched on that all year too. Even in the highs, there's been a lot of lows, and you just can't overlook them with a little bit of success.
No, you can't. Um, our friend William Dillon, the fake field goal and defensive stops on UNC's last two drives do not absolve Fonte or Packy, and both need to go ASAP. Agreed. We just touched on that. Lion to the Devil says playing for the state championship next week. For how disappointing this season has been, that means something to me. Last game with Nate and Darian and Cooper could very well potentially be our last game with any of them, really.
I sent that message the other night. Sunday's gonna suck.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's end it up. Let's end it right. I agree. Thomas Sporn says it can't be overlooked how badly UNC played and how undisciplined they are. The roughing the kicker penalty that turned a missed field goal into a Duke touchdown was the game changer. Facts. Because if that play doesn't happen, we're tied at 25. Milo, our friend Milo Beto says, or he asks, which foreign country do you want Duke to play in? I think they've earned the right to play in either Syria or Iran. Sudan, I think for me personally.
I was looking at that. I feel like I would like to. I definitely want to go to the Middle East because they deserve that kind of suck.
Yeah.
Um,
And then our friend Ed Helinsky says, in all honesty, this is a good question. How surprising has this Duke season been to you? Very surprising. Last year, the offense was very underwhelming and the defense was fantastic, and we still won 9 games. And we were told that we were just one good quarterback away from like hitting that next level, the upper echelon, if you will. So going into the season, we're like, all right, great. Yeah, we made some portal moves. We got some dogs at wide receiver. We got some guys at running back. Our O line is going to be better. We have one of the better secondaries in the country. And here we are sitting at 6-5, and it's just like, what happened? I'm very surprised. Maybe our expectations were too high, but we also didn't have any reason for them to not be too high because the defense has gotten significantly worse. Special teams has gotten significantly worse, but then also is still getting better to some extent. The offense has gotten better, but they haven't. It's like a less sound. I don't know. I just attribute it to more playmakers on the offense overcoming some bad offensive play calling. But yes, in short, I am surprised at how the season has gone.
yeah, I think at worst right now, this team should be 8-3 heading into the last game of the year with losses to Illinois Tech and UVA. Um, Two G5 losses, 1-3 in non-cons, inexcusable. I think that's what surprises me. I expected us 3-1 in non-con, and that's how I found my 9-3 prediction. Was, it seemed pretty cut and dry for Duke this year, with the talent on the field and what they did last year. Even through the adversity they went through with all the upgrades we got in the offseason to address the adversity we went through last year. The regressions on defense have just been far, far too much for us to overcome, as well as just some of our schematic issues in the coaching system. And, I, like Eli said, it definitely is surprising and not in a good way. So, yeah, I'm on the same train.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this season has been surprising to some extent. And the very last one is a guy named Sam, who I don't recognize this Sam, but he might be a newcomer. But he says, I was late last week, but can you discuss our woeful recruiting? Even with the Carolina win, I struggle to see a long-term vision with his staff. And aside from the horrid play calling, the just as bad recruiting is not discussed. And thank you for being the voice of those that want more for Duke football. We are an aspirational school on every account beside the football program. Mentality has to continue to shift to align with the school's values and ensure our long-term sustainability. First off, thank you for the kind words. Uh, and thank you for being a listener and appreciating what we do. As far as recruiting goes, I kind of wish Tyler was here for this because, to be quite honest with you guys, I don't follow the recruiting that closely. Kind of a casual in that regard. But Noah, do you have any thoughts on the recruiting?
Yeah, no, Tyler and I, we sweat a lot of the recruiting, send a lot of posts back and forth and stuff from our own three accounts and everything. But our volume is not there for next year's class. We definitely, I wish we had a couple more bodies coming in, albeit 2 stars, 3 stars, whatever. Um, there is some good talent in it. We did swing and miss. I think we're in a position right now where we might be out kicking our coverage a tad on some of the guys we're going for and not kind of, you know, trying to backfill with some, diamonds in the rough, so to say, the Cutcliffe 2 stars and 3 stars that were, 4 and 5 year guys like that. So I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah, it's not a great recruiting class, but also I think that they got what they needed and they're going to hit the portal a lot more. And I think we're going to spend more on the defensive side of the portal, which is kind of where we didn't recruit very heavy. So I'm excited to see it play out, but personally, I would like to see a couple more players in there, like accompanying the guys like Keith and them and
Yeah.
Terry.
Yeah, looking into the I really thought our recruiting was for next season was a lot better off than it is right now.
No, that white boy from Myers Park and Terry Walker about all we got.
Yeah, it's I thought we were higher than this. I thought we were like top 25, top 30, but we're sitting at 60th in the
Oh yeah,
country.
yeah, and that's off volume.
Yeah, and our highest recruit is a 4-star, Sean Stover out of Texas. He's an interior offensive lineman, which is good. We could always use more alignment, but
He's actively little tidbit for everybody. He just took a visit to Michigan 2 weeks ago,
oh
and
God,
we'll see. But he said he was committed to Duke, but he was still taking visits, so we will see.
we will see. But yeah, Terry Walker behind him, it's all 3 stars. We've got guys like Deshaun Spencer, Terry Walker, Lyric Pettis, CJ Givers, Colson Gatton, some solid guys in there. Don't get me wrong. We're thankful for them. We're thankful for them being committed, and we're excited to see them at Duke. But yeah, I don't know. I thought Manny was really known for his recruiting. So as lackluster as this season has been, we could at least have our recruiting in shape. Uh, Tyler or Noah, my bad. Take us into the bowl segment here.
Yeah, absolutely. A little something new we're going to be doing, and we're not going to do it until we're bowl eligible each year because we do not want to be the jinx ever. But now Duke is 6-5. We will be heading to a bowl game, and we're going to do our scum kind of bowl season travel predictions where the scums will be vacationing after Christmas. Tyler put down here for his at the beginning of the year, he predicted Duke versus Auburn in the Mayo Bowl. Auburn is sitting at 5 wins right now. They play Alabama next week at home at night. Everybody knows how that game goes. It could keep Bama out of the playoffs if Bama loses. Auburn can make a bowl game if they win. A lot on the line. Jordan Hare is that dark magic voodoo SEC vibe. Something crazy always happens. Going to be a great Iron Bowl, I'm sure. Tyler is calling his shot that Auburn will beat Bama and that his projection will be spot on. Duke Auburn in the Mayo Bowl. I like that one. That's not a bad choice. I think if they did match up Duke with an SEC team, somebody like Auburn would be where I would want us to, who I would want us to be put up against. I've got us personally heading up north. Um, it's a little selfish, but Fenway and the Pinstripe are both on the 27th. I will already be in New York through the 28th. As long as it's one of them two, makes things a lot easier. But I do have Duke versus Minnesota in the Fenway Bowl. So got the Ski Ma Go Ghosts versus the Blue Devils.
As far as, I mean, I'm kind of in the same vein. I think the Mayo Bowl is probably like best case scenario this year. Um, but I think the Mayo Bowl, like any bowl game, they're gonna want their opponents, like even if the record is there, the one of the main things to look at is how many tickets will they sell. So I think Duke will not be the first choice for the Mayo Bowl because they know that Duke will not draw the most fans to that game. That being said, I think that's best case scenario if we make that bowl game. But like you're saying, Noah, I'm fully on board and like fully anticipating us to get one of the three. Fenway Bowl, Pinstripe Bowl, or the Gasparilla Bowl. And we were just talking. I wouldn't mind any of those. Like my first want with a bowl game is to like get the best bowl game possible. But if you're not gonna get a great bowl game, get one that's close to
Boston, Fenway, or Tampa.
yeah, close to home, or it's gonna be warm or easy to travel to, whatever. Jacksonville was somewhat easy to travel to last year. Birmingham was somewhat easy to travel to the year before. Um, New York would be easy, great at this time of year. Uh, Charlotte would be real easy for us. I mean, not only that's ideal scenario because that'd be the best bowl game we could probably make this year, on top of it's really close to home for us. So I'd like to get Charlotte, but if we can't, I have us going to Pinstripe or Fenway. ACC Roundup. Great weekend for Duke. Not only did we win the game, our game, but we're not entirely out of ACC contention yet. Noah, talk to us about this ACC Roundup.
Um, there's a pubic hair of hope that Duke could possibly get in. I'm not. Nope, nope, nope. Not gonna happen. It's
We're
not
not fully
happening.
buying into it,
Nope.
but
Pitt's gonna beat Miami. It won't matter what SMU does. Won't matter. Like Virginia Tech's not beating UVA. You know what I mean? And Cal is not beating SMU. And Pitt and Miami is just going to be a rock fight. So it won't matter what that outcome is. Duke really doesn't stand a chance. But mathematically, there is a chance. Um, our path would have to be us winning, of course. I think that's the biggest goal and probably obstacle in our way. Miami beating Pitt, and then SMU has to beat Cal, or UVA has to beat VT. And there's a lot going on. I don't want to get too caught up in it because at this point, I'm just ready for the ACC championship to be done and over with. I'm ready for this season. I'm ready to enjoy the bowl and move forward to the spring and move forward with our goals for next year and our aspirations for, winning a lot more. But the ACC championship is not coming to Duke this year. And if you think
no.
that, you're a delusional you're a delusional tard. Like you're not good.
I it's weird, dude. It's like that's part of what makes this season so frustrating is like the biggest lane Duke has ever been given and like the easiest chance to make the ACC title game that Duke has ever been given, and it's just we have the season that we're having, right? It's just like if we had last year's Duke team with this ACC window,
Dude, if
we're cruising
Cirque's
right
team
through.
was in this shit, we'd have won 11-1.
If what?
If Cirque's 2014-15 team was in this, we'd have won 11-1 with the loss to Illinois. That would have been it.
Oh
That
yeah.
would have been it.
But this past week, SMU beat Louisville. That was good. Pitt beat Georgia Tech. That was good. Stanford beat Cal. Wilcox got fired. Who saw that coming? State beat FSU. Miami beat VT. Just like last week, even though we lost to UVA, like things are happening in Duke's favor outside of Duke, which is wild. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't expect Duke will get there because I know how this goes. Like the child in me wants to get excited about this, but
Not
I'm
worth
holding
it.
myself back. I know better. But the
Exactly.
window is there. Duke beats Wake, Miami beats Pitt. Both are possible. Not necessarily likely, but possible. And SMU beats Cal or UVA
Yeah.
beats VT. We're
It's
there.
possible I get struck by lightning, ran over by a bus, and killed by a cow on the same day too, but it probably ain't gonna happen.
I love your positivity, Noah.
It is what I am positive, but not for this motion. I have been denouncing this everywhere I can. I wish people would shut up.
Yeah, it's like don't get us wrong. We want to be there, but
Not like this.
let's be realistic.
We can't be the first 7-5 ACC champion ever. That's just
Ugh.
not the way our story needs to be written.
But would that not be so, Duke? All
First
right.
ACC champion to play in a fucking Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Wake Forest preview. Duke is 60-40-2 all time against Wake Forest. Wake Forest is one of the like three teams ever that Duke has a winning record against, up there with NC State. Uh, Last year, many of you guys will remember we had an absolute thriller. Well, the ending was thrilling. We won 23-17 in Winston last year. I was there. Um, Garrett was there, but outside of our group, I think you were
I
up in
was
New
in
York still.
yeah, I was up in Saratoga Springs.
Yeah. That great walk-off touchdown pass from Malik Murphy to Jordan Moore. That extended Duke's winning streak over Wake to 3. Uh, Duke won the first ever meeting between the two teams, 12-6 in 1893. Um, Aside from 1943 during World War II, Duke and Wake Forest have played every single year since 1921, making them our longest yearly rival, beating UNC by 1 year. 1 year. That don't sleep on that Duke versus Wake Forest rivalry. Um,
Oh
it's
my
there
God.
and it's real.
Timeout. Sorry, off script. Somebody on 247 said we're affecting Duke's recruiting in a negative connotation. If you said that and you're listening to this, go get fucked. If you think I'm the reason Duke can't recruit little old Noah in Charlotte, North Carolina, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. And come find me at the Wake Forest game and tell me that to my face if you think it so much. You don't understand the fire you've just lit under me. If anything, they love us. They love the scums. Just because you're 78 on your deathbed and think the word fuck is scary doesn't mean a shit to me, buddy. Does not mean a damn thing. Run your mouth on 247 all you want behind your little burner post. We got plenty of people on there who send us everything. I deleted my account because you're also stupid. Oh, that fires me up real good. That fires me up real good right there. Some
Wow.
of the top Duke football accounts are constantly disparaging the program publicly. GA scumbags calling for Nina King to fire the staff during the game. Other accounts going at coaches and players nonstop. It's a bad look for our fan base on public forums. Go cheer for fucking Elon if you don't like it, dude. This is Power 4 football. Pony up. This is
Wow.
Tuscaloosa North. If you don't like it, get out. We're changing how this shit works around here. Passion, fire, desire to win. That's the scumbags.
Who said that? What was that in a group chat?
It doesn't no, Bruce just sent it to me. Yeah, Scum Law sent it too. So if you want to hit me for defamation, my lawyer's the one that sent it to me. Ah,
Wow. That's
God, that
hilarious.
fires me up to no like nothing else, man.
Dude, we're not even like that bad either. That's the thing. Like it shows how like stunted the Duke football fan base is overall because it's like have you guys ever seen how Texas fans, Florida fans, FSU fans, Clemson fans, hell, NC State fans, have you seen how fans at real football programs with historic track records of success operate? We are milk and cookies compared to them. Oh my God, that is so funny. That is so funny.
Dude,
Dude, it's like, here's the thing. Like when a lot of Duke football fans, especially like the ones over like 40, and I'm not talking about the parents here, I'm talking about like the fans. A lot of the fans, especially the ones over 40, and then their kids are like uh people who grew up in abusive households and like their frontal lobe was stunted and damaged that like they didn't develop properly. That's Duke football fans. They grew up with such awful football and such awful conditions that like they're not really cooked all the way through up here. So like they think that people with, expectations and like hopes and optimism, not optimism, but like hopes and expectations are like bad and evil when it's like we want the best for this program. And they think, well, I'm doing a good thing because I'm okay with being shitty every year because at least it's better than it used to be. Oh man, that's hilarious.
get bent.
That's
Get bent.
hilarious.
Oh man.
I would love to figure out.
Well, that's the funny part. Like, dude, just come say it to our face if you think it. You won't because I'm not gonna back. I'm not chicken shit scared of nobody. I'm not gonna try to
Yeah.
fight nobody, but I'm not gonna sit there and let you try to berate me. I'm gonna get my words in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my words in. I promise you that much.
Oh, that's so funny.
If
That's
you hate
so
it, if you
funny.
hate it, go start your own podcast is my thing. if you hate it so much, take time out of your week, take time out of your life to do all the shit you got to do and put a podcast together and market it. Do
It's
it.
funny.
It's
I mean, it
free.
is funny.
Like if you want to do it, do it.
I just can't help but laugh because it's like, wow. It is funny though because it's like the players like us, fans whose opinions are worth a shit and who like aren't stunted and who like have jobs and contribute to society like us. Um, the parents like us. So
Ah,
if the people who like matter like us,
all that
then
matters.
it doesn't matter. Like the kids like us. I'm gonna go text the players on our friends and be like, hey, sorry man, we're folding the pod. We're affecting the recruiting.
We're the reason Cade Stover's flipping to Michigan, man. It's on us.
Straight up.
Oh, back to
Um,
Wake though.
we gotta get back
Jesus
to
Christ,
Wake.
that fired me up though.
Talk to us about Jake Dickert.
There's no bigger believer. If Jake Dickert has no fans, this pod is dead. If he has a million, we were the first. Just love everything Dicker is doing. After hearing him at media days, I was inspired. I didn't think they would, win 7 or 8 games, but man, oh man, 8-3 year one, 31-23 overall. He spent 4 years at Wazoo before coming to Wake. Wake made a great hire. His teams play fast. They want to run the football. They don't have a great quarterback. Dickert's probably got some guys coming in to start filling that role, but he's working with what he's got now, and they still got 8 wins. So what they're doing is working. He's a phenomenal coach. He's changed the culture and belief. Clausen built it up, and then Clausen tore it back down a little bit, kind of like Cutcliffe did. And then here comes Dickert, kind of like Elko, to right the ship with Clausen's talent, same as Cut. Very comparable here. Um, Love everything about Dickert. Wake is going to be a scrappy. They're going to play very hard. Desmond Claiborne will be the deciding factor of the football game. Best running back in the ACC, kind of comparable to Jay Knott last year or Omarion Hampton. Stop him and you win the football game big. Has been the every game Wake has lost this year. Omarion has not had his 2 touchdowns, 125 yards. No, sorry, not Omarion, but Claiborne has not had his 2 touchdowns, 125 yards in stellar football game.
And they're good. I mean, looking at their statistics as a team, I mean, between offense and defense, literally only one category is outside the top 100, and it's still like number 107 nationally. I'm talking about their red zone scoring percentage. I mean, looking at their offense, they're 79th nationally in points per game. Uh, they're really good at fourth down conversions. They're at 52nd nationally at 57.89%. Their defense is stellar, folks. Their defense is stellar. They're giving up 19.9 points a game. That's 21st nationally. They're top 20 in several categories. They're number 12 nationally on opponents' fourth down conversion percentage. They're number 12 nationally in opposing yards per play. They're number 14th nationally on opposition's points per play. It's just this is a good unit, and it's going to be an interesting matchup between Duke's offense, which is capable of putting up points and yards. It's going to be interesting to see how Duke's offense fares against their defense. Um, Also, with their offense being pretty solid and our defense having their struggles, I do feel like we are going to have probably a bit of a shootout on our hands. I think it's going to be a pretty high scoring game. Noah, do you know what like the prediction is for like the total points scored?
I think it's like 47 or 48, one of the
Okay,
lower ones this year for us.
interesting. Maybe I'll be wrong. Who knows? As far as predictions for the game go, Tyler says, I love Jake Dickert, and this is a Deke team. But something about Duke in rivalry games under Manny, I like what he says here. I expect a weird, ugly grinder, but second half Duke pulls away, similar to the state game earlier this year. Duke 31, Wake 14. And Tyler knows ball, so I'm really hoping he's right here.
Yeah, I've got Duke winning 28-24. I think we get it done and cover. I'm sure I'll change my tune on that in a week, but for now, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I don't Vegas has this as like a not super high scoring game, but then also just knowing what I know about their offense and Duke's defense, and then Duke's offense. I think unfortunately though, like if the points scored is around 47, 48, I think the majority of those might be Wake's points because their defense is good, Duke's defense is bad, their offense is good, our offense is all right. Uh, so I'm gonna have to go contrarian here, and I'm gonna predict. I think similar to Tyler's score, but reverse. I'm gonna go Wake 34, Duke 17. I would love Duke to win this game. I want Duke to win this game as always, but this Wake team is damn good, and they're better than the last couple years for Wake. So I prove me wrong. I'll say in the words of Tyler, prove me wrong.
Yep.
Um, it's going to be a kind of a shitty crowd this week. Like we've had pretty good crowds in conference games all year.
It'll be
But
a rough one.
yeah, it's
Thanksgiving,
going to look like Pitt
nobody.
23, dude.
Yeah. There'll be about
Ugh.
11K there, max, maybe 8.
And just like Pitt 23, we're going to be playing for 7 and 5.
Oh yeah.
Anyhow, if you guys made it this far, thanks for listening. You matter. You're great. If you're whining about us on 247 Sports, ask your caretaker to get you outside. Um,
Touch
anyway,
grass.
yeah. Any last thoughts, Noah?
No, we're just I mean, say what you want about us, but we're some of the most hardcore Duke football fans you'll ever find. And if you hate that, then you probably ain't really a Duke football fan.
Yeah.
But hey, happy go lucky, will get you nowhere in life. You gotta wake up and do something every day to get somewhere, and that's what we expect to see out of this program to continue to climb and to make the changes necessary. There's just no way you can look at what's happened this year and still want Jonathan Brewer, Jonathan Packey on this team. I don't
Whoa,
get it.
dude, we barely beat a shitty Carolina team. How could you not want them to stick
Dude, we're
around?
6-5. Everyone should get extended for 15 years, lifetime mega contracts.
Straight up.
Ugh. Well, it is what it is, though. We'll still be doing. We'll be here next week. Catch us again.
Doing what we do.
Yep.
Uh, anyway, happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Happy
Enjoy the
Thanksgiving,
time with your
Stunts.
families. Go Duke. We'll see you on Saturday.